this is what the show's about, free game. Because I think us as people, us in our culture, everything want to be instant.
Yeah, man.
Everything wants to be microwaved. Everybody wants stuff to happen overnight.
Real quick. From ball playing to stunting, flows to have them bugging. They wanna know how we do it, but really, man, it's nothing. Conversation has changed, but game is still the same. Ray, Kyle, and Kev, Chanel, that be the gang. What we doing? Free game. What they want? Free game. Oh, we got it. Free game. Tell them again, what we doing? Free game. What they want? Free game. Oh, we got it. Free game. You keep the change. Shout out to Feel Good Media. Up next, the usual suspects.
Now we get to marry. What's your first year like?
Bittersweet.
Bittersweet? For what
And
reason?
I know that sounds crazy because we won the entire, like we won the championship, bro. Like, you feel me? Like coming from here, you win the national
I
championship.
missed a game that year.
Yeah,
You win the
man.
national championship. You feel
But
me?
I didn't know that I was watching you know.
Right.
Yeah. Like that's the sweet part.
Yeah.
But the bitter part, like just I had goals.
Right.
Feel me? Like I had dreams and I'm like I said, I'm ultra competitive. I
Right.
don't care what your name is. Like I've seen DeJuan Wagner, bro. Like,
And he was the best player in the country at one
Listen.
point in time, though.
bro, listen.
In college.
Nike All American camp. Like I've seen that different, like that special.
Right.
Like, bro, you are special.
Right.
Like next level special. And I seen that I'm not far from, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
'Cause you go
like I
in
ain't
there
trying to
every
put, because
day,
I
though.
can't put myself there.
Right.
Like that man was 100 in like several games, and you feel me? Like he was that. Like he was that. Like he left Nike All American camp, bro. Like he came and played one game. Was like he had 50 at half. This is the best players in the country.
Yeah, 50.
I sat on the sideline and I'm watching them 50 at half with a 5-pass rule.
Man.
You feel me? So like, but at the same time, my mentality is, I done seen the best of the best. You know what I'm saying? And for me, I want nobody better than my brother.
I'm gonna stop you. You said this thing had 50 at the half with a 5-pass.
5-pass rule. 5 passes before you can shoot.
I just wanted to make sure I heard that right. 'Cause that was
5 passes before you can shoot.
So it was the fifth one that touched it.
Yes, every time he was firing that.
Different.
Yes,
You know what I mean? But like, so I seen all of that, and then again, man, like just those battles with my brother every day.
That
You
built
feel
you,
me?
though.
Like, or those battles in Chrisfield in the playground. You know what I mean? On the basketball
People
court.
realize how special them battles are, because that's what really make you.
That's what builds you.
That's what makes
Yeah,
you.
that's the foundation for you. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I'm going in like, man, I done played against the best.
Right.
I'm not worried about like who was there. And honestly, Coverdale didn't want me to go to Maryland.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Where would Cub want you to go?
Cove probably wanted me to go like Villanova or Temple with
Right.
Pope. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think he
that
wanted me to go
familiarity
one of
with
those
you
two.
and Pope probably could have did.
I mean, even just when you look at it, like just the systems, the type
Man,
of style of play.
Temple had a
like,
guard when Pope was there. That nigga did a lot of
shot
shooting.
too much.
He did a lot of shooting too. I forget his name.
Lane Greer.
Put the ball
Yes,
low cut.
Lane
sir.
Greer, left hand, Lane Greer.
My God, I
He did
hate
a lot of
about
shooting,
you,
man.
I
Lane
said,
Greer.
man, he won't give him the ball.
Yeah, I
Lynn
actually
did a
played,
lot of
I actually
Don't
played
be
against
mad,
him.
Lynn.
I played against him over in Italy too.
shot too much.
Lynn shot too goddamn much.
Yes, he did.
But yeah, man, like you know, it was bittersweet for me, man, just because.
Because he got ganked at Villanova, didn't he?
Yeah, Gank went to Villanova.
And then Pope went to Temple.
And St. Joe's was on me heavy too.
And
When
St.
they
Joe's
had
was a
Jameer
powerhouse
Nelson.
back in that
Yeah,
time.
they had Jameer
But he had help.
Yeah.
He had somebody
Yeah,
else.
Delonte West.
Yeah.
They went
But
26
Delonte came in, I think, my sophomore year.
Yeah.
But they had Marvin O'Connor. He was a guard, like he had braids, like he was tough. He was a shooter. But nonetheless, man, it was bittersweet just because I went from a situation where I've never been in that type of situation.
Pretty much
Where I
like
wasn't-
starting over with a.
where I wasn't getting any type of playing time, and I didn't care about seniority or none of
So
that.
who,
You know what I
who
mean?
was in front of you?
So I had Steve Blake in front of me, Juan Dixon, obviously. Like Juan to me was the best player of college basketball.
what,
Yes,
like,
he was.
what grade?
Yes, he
what
was. I
grade
didn't see
you
nobody
in?
better than him.
So
What
Blake,
year?
Blake was a junior.
he was a freshman.
I was a freshman, but Blake should have been. It's crazy. Here's the thing: I also tell kids, man, like, do what you gotta do when you gotta do it.
Yeah.
Because you never know when you miss that window of opportunity. You know what I'm saying?
That thing
like,
so
a lot
small,
of,
Dre.
a lot of people don't understand. When I committed to go to Maryland, my senior year, I didn't get the SAT score, right? Blake was a freshman my senior year, right? Sophomore, so he had to go through the fire. Sophomore year, he went through the fire, and like freshman year, he struggled, right? Sophomore year, he struggled a little bit, but instead of me coming in during his sophomore year, after he struggled the whole year,
Came in his junior
where
year.
now we might be competing, and it might be some minutes there for me,
Right.
right?
Now he done been here. went through the fire.
Now coming in his junior year when he's an All-American.
Yeah. And you, coach ain't even trying to. If he had a bad game, he still get the benefit of the doubt.
Cause I always, me personally, I hated him. I thought he was a bum. Like,
Nah, I ain't gonna hold you.
That's
Nah,
what
I ain't gonna hold you.
that was my. I'm just saying, it's just
Now,
me.
I'm not gonna hold you
I thought he wasn't that
from
good.
a point guard perspective. Watching him day in and day out, like
He was tough.
because I was always that like I'm going to get you 40 and then I'm gonna I'm gonna make up the 10 assists afterwards. You feel me? Like I'm gonna get about 25 and then I'm gonna hand out 5 and then I'm gonna get a couple more buckets. I'm gonna hand out another 5. Blake was just that guy, man. That
He never
was
really
leading
probably
a
made
team,
mistake, yeah.
leading a team, bro. Like I mean, he was always top 5 in assists in the country. You know what I mean? Just knew when to get guys the ball.
Yeah, it was real basic,
He was
you know
gritty.
what I mean? Like,
You know what I'm saying? He was gritty.
Yeah, he was.
It wasn't nothing
was.
really like special about his game, but it's the reason why Kobe Bryant,
Wants him on his team, though.
wanted him on that squad.
Well, he just played. He played good in Portland too.
Yeah, like, yeah.
He played lights
Yeah,
out.
like Blake,
I mean,
like
You don't
Blake
last
was real
13
cerebral.
years in the league.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I'm saying it wasn't
You know what I'm
nothing
saying?
flashy. Like you
No,
said, it wasn't
man,
nothing
like I
special,
said,
but they got the job
He was
done.
solid.
It was
Yeah,
solid.
he was
They
real
were,
solid.
they were good enough for DC to see that damn these boys played in college together. Let's get them in the backcourt in DC.
And it's crazy, Drake, because me, like I'm the one that watches all the podcasts and pick shit out of it. But like you said about that window opportunity, right there.
Yeah.
So what was the reason why you weren't at Maryland?
Season when I was in high school,
Yeah.
you probably go back and look at my yearbooks, bro. Like I'm sitting on top of the desk chilling because I'm that guy.
Right.
You feel me? Like everybody else in the school, like everybody in my class, they doing their work. I'm sitting on top of the desk, just chilling.
Right.
I always did when I was in school, like, and I had a
Bare minimum.
decent GPA.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I did whatever it took. Like, especially during basketball season, I was legit.
Right.
After basketball season, I'm chilling.
That's me.
You know what I'm saying?
That was me.
And what happened was I needed a high SAT score.
Okay. Because that
Yeah,
bounce, that
because
bounce,
back then
that
it was
clearinghouse.
That was
Yeah.
big. That
So
was
I needed
big.
a high
That shit was
SAT
so
score.
stupid though, man.
You know what I mean? And I didn't qualify. So Maryland, like what they did, they always placed like their recruits that didn't qualify. If they really wanted them, they placed them in Hargrave.
Right.
Hargrave was when you talk about prep schools. Hargrave was like a Oak Hill. You look like
Okay.
Montrezl Harrell. It's some if you go Google Hargrave and you just look,
listen.
it's so many people that you know.
Came
what I'm
through
saying?
there.
In fact, like this is no cap. The best team I've ever played on
Was probably that
was at Hargrave. We had I think 15 players. 11 of us went D1.
Yeah.
Y'all was just
Eight,
waiting.
like six of us went ACC.
Oh yeah, that's
Like,
tough. That's tough.
Another 5 went to like Big East and you know what I'm saying, SEC and you know what I mean, like big
Them the
conferences.
next
Yeah.
big conferences.
Everybody got it.
Yeah. So and like that leads me to the story I was talking about, like Carolina. So
Yeah.
I had committed to Maryland when I was there. Like I was already committed to Maryland, and we were playing against other prep schools, Oak Hill, like JUCOs. We was playing against a lot of people don't know Carolina has they got a JV team. So we was playing against like big colleges, their JV teams, stuff like that. But nonetheless, Carolina had jumped in, like started contacting me.
Yeah.
So I reopened my recruitment, and Maryland flew down there. Assistant coach from Maryland flew down there to Hargrave, and you know, long story short, I ended up like
Check you out, like
yeah, like, what's up,
man.
what's up? You know what I mean? But like yeah, man, like yeah. So any kid, man, take advantage of that window. Like don't. It matters, man. I know a lot of people be like, you know what I'm saying?
We
you
talk
don't
about
realize
all the
down the
time.
line and all of that. Like,
I should have went there.
it matters.
And that's one thing we don't really try to hide on.
When
Like,
we lost.
we always talk about like, okay, what was that moment? You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
that letdown moment. Because those are the windows of opportunity. Like then you look back, you're like, yo, that's what that was.
We lost
You
in
don't
the
take it
second final.
seriously.
They didn't let us cry. They said, Kyle, you want to sign Delaware State? I mean, what was it?
You did.
They said, nah.
And that's all it really be about, man. The situation. It's all
Yeah.
about
They want to
situation.
you and the guy we just lost to the year before was Chipman.
Yeah,
One
Mike
y'all
Ship.
in the backcourt, right?
But
Yeah,
yeah,
that'd be
man.
tough.
So you know, it all matter, man. So I used to do, and it's crazy because I used to go take the SAT test.
Yeah,
I would sleep through half of that shit.
man. Listen.
You know what I mean?
First
Just
time
because
hurt
I'm
me
like,
too.
yo, 'cause back then we had our games on Fridays back then too. So I'm playing a Friday night game, and
It's Saturday morning.
especially if it's in Chrisville,
Right.
I'm going dumb in the game, and then
And then
you
you
know
going
I'm
straight to the
you know I'm
bar.
going dumb afterwards.
Straight to the bar.
You know I'm going home game. You know I'm going dumb afterwards. You know what I'm saying? So I used to go to take the test, man. I be in that joint, sleep, bluffing.
Been with your number one fan all night.
Yes,
Yeah.
indeed.
You know what I mean? Enjoying yourself. Enjoy
Facts,
life.
yeah,
Enjoy life.
facts.
Yes,
You know what I'm
sir.
saying? So yeah, man. So like, it was definitely a learning experience, man. It's definitely something I always like try to talk to the kids about as far
Definitely.
as that, because that's a moment. That's a what if.
Yeah, because
That's a moment I'll never know what would have happened. Not saying that I would have came in and took Blake's spot or nothing like that.
But you know what you could have done with that
Exactly.
opportunity.
when he's struggling going through that fire,
you could kill. You could be
when
the one
his
that kills
sophomore year,
confidence.
I could be that person that came in and when he was struggling, he didn't have a backup.
Right.
He ain't have a backup.
So
when
you
he
ain't got to
struggling.
look over your shoulder or nothing.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
when he's struggling, Dre.
Right.
Instead of like now he's struggling as a junior
An
All-American
All-American.
who just led his team his sophomore year to the Final Four, but people
Right.
don't remember that. Like they was beating Duke in the Final Four by like
But they could
22.
They could get rid of that Williams kid.
Yeah, he was tough, bro. He was tough. He might be the only
Michelle?
person I've ever played. Jay Williams.
Oh, Jay Williams. Okay.
Like he's probably like this is a true story. He's probably the only player I've ever played in my life where I was nervous to play against.
I was gonna ask you
mad
that
they
was-
beat y'all that year too.
I was
gonna
Honest
ask you
about that.
because-
that was crazy.
I wasn't there though, but like yeah, like just that next year, his
Junior
I believe
year.
it was. Did he leave early?
He left his junior year, I think, or sophomore year.
Like he left his junior year then.
Yeah.
But like, we played at Duke, played against him at Duke, and I got in the game at Duke.
Scared.
I was like, yo. Just
And that-
why, like, yo, it was crazy, bro.
Yo,
Like,
listen,
he was tough.
'cause
He's
I would've-
probably the only player in my life I've ever been nervous to play against.
I went to college for baseball and I played AU everything, but that was only one player that I ever felt like that against, and it's so crazy because no matter how good you are, there's gonna be that one player that's like, yo, that motherfucker might be better than me. Dog. I don't never tell him that
Yeah.
shit, but that nigga might be better than me, though.
Nah, man.
It's always that one player.
That's like I went back on that DeJuan Wagner like story. You know what I'm saying? Like you can see who was like just a different talent. Like you know what I mean? Who was naturally gifted on another level. You know what I'm saying? But I would never be like, yo, that nigga better than me.
No, never.
I'd
But
never
you
be
knew he
like
was a
that.
little bit different.
But I
than
knew he was.
everybody
I
else.
knew he was a little. I
There's
knew he
nothing
was
wrong with
six.
knowing somebody's different.
I knew he was about 6'3".
Yeah, and that was.
I knew he was about 190.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I
He
knew
was
he had.
solid.
I knew he was pulling from legit half.
the legit half.
You know what I'm saying? Like and efficient with it.
Didn't you get the last bucket at the?
Yeah, man.
I'm about to say, what was the name of the stadium?
Coldfield House.
Coldfield House.
Yeah, and
Last
it's crazy.
bucket.
It's crazy because growing up, like I said, in Chrisfield, the goal was always to get to
To
Coldfield
get there.
House.
Right.
And I got
So I got there my freshman year, lost. Got there my senior year, won.
Won.
Came back my freshman year, we won every game, and then I ended up making the last shot in it. You feel me?
That's
I mean,
that's
you
something
can't
you
write
dream
it
about. Every little
Yeah,
kid
like-
has balled up a piece of paper and
Yeah,
counted
man.
down. Or you've been on your court outside 5,
Yeah.
4. So just tell me about it. You know what I mean? That's going through your head right now.
Well-
You got that rock in
Well,
your head.
it wasn't like a 5-4
You know what I
type
mean?
of situation, but it was like the game was like out of reach. You feel me? Like we was playing against Virginia, and honestly, Gary Williams didn't want me to shoot it.
The coach ain't want you shooting.
Nah, but I had my guys like Juan Dixon and them on the side. They seniors. I'm in the locker room with them dudes all the time. You feel me?
Yeah.
They telling me shoot it, Dre, shoot it.
Oh, Gary,
So
stop it.
So I
You
came
went
down
too
and I
fast.
came down and shot that joint. If
As
you
you
look,
should.
like I just posted that clip a couple weeks ago because it was the anniversary of the last game played in Cole,
Okay.
and you could see Gary like when I shot it and made it.
Yeah.
Gary is like ready to go ham.
Did he
on
say
it.
something to you after the game?
Nah, he ain't say nothing.
Oh,
He
yeah,
was,
he let
but
it
I knew
ride.
he was mad. You
Okay.
because he was about to meet me on the court, and then like I don't know what happened. He ended up just going to
So
the
you
line.
hit that shot. You know what happened.
But the next day, right?
Yeah.
The next day, that next morning, they called me in the office. I'm thinking, shit.
Gary about to make me run till practice.
Yeah, I'm thinking he about to chew me out. And I actually, as I'm going in the office, he walking out and he like, Dre Collins, man of the hour. Made the last shot in Cole. You feel? I started laughing. But I was nervous. I ain't gonna hold you. I was nervous as shit.
Man, what was that like? What was that? Because Gary got a nice rep. He's one of the best college coaches in his time. Cause he's not coaching anymore. Is he?
Nah, he would tell
He was one. I remember Gary was one of the best coaches in his time. What was it like playing for him? Down to earth coach, players coach.
In my mind, man, just from the X and O's and just being brilliant, sharp mind, basketball, like he's hands down one of the GOATs.
Yeah.
Like hands down. You feel me? And he shoot, and like you always can like. My coaching style is a lot like Gary for real, and a lot like Jimmy Passos when I transferred to Loyola, who was assistant at Maryland before I went to Loyola. You know what I'm saying? Like both of them, like you can always get everything you got for a coach that's like that. That's giving you everything he has.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and he's really into the game. You feel me? Like he's never not teaching. Like he's always teaching, bro. Like a lot of people used to ask me all the time, like, yo, why he be turning around yelling at the bench, man, when somebody on the court make a mistake?
Right.
I was like, on TV it looked like he's yelling at us, but he's really like teaching.
That's what I don't want you to do.
You know what I mean? Like in this situation, like he may ask you, like, what should he have done in this situation?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So
Like,
you on your people.
yeah, like he teaching. You feel me? Like so for me, man, just he's a Hall of Famer for a reason.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
They
as
just don't get that out to anybody. So
yeah, nah, he's a Hall of Famer as a reason, man. Like for a reason. Like he was a great point guard, so I got the best of both worlds.
I never
there.
knew Gary played.
He played at Maryland.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he
I
played
didn't
at
know that.
Maryland. So you know what I'm saying? Like,
just told me something.
Yes, he did.
and he's coached a lot of great point guards, like
Right.
Dana Barrows.
Dana Barrows went play for the Celtics.
Yeah, Mike Adams played for the Wizards. What was they? What was not Wizards? What were they back in? Bullets.
Bullets.
Washington
Yeah.
Bullets.
Michael Adams, obviously Blake. You know what I'm saying? Like he's had a lot of really good point guards, man. And a lot of people don't understand Gary Williams' resume before he got to Maryland was legit. You know what I mean? Like, Steve Francis. You feel me? Steve Blake. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like he's definitely a brilliant mind, man. And you know what I'm saying? Like when I look back on it, despite me not having like much of an opportunity there, I always cherished like being able, having the opportunity to be there.
Right.
You know what I mean? But yeah, man, like he definitely, hands down, one of the greatest coaches in my eyes, one of the greatest coaches that's ever coached on the college
So,
level.
when did you leave, man? Like after the chip?
Nah, so we won the chip my freshman year, and it was speculated that I was gonna leave
After that?
after my freshman year. But I was like, you know what I'm saying, like I always been that type, man. I don't care who there, I don't care who you recruit.
Right.
Like I know what I can do. I believe in my work and what I
Right.
play.
And it's hard. We just want to
Yeah.
shit. Like how can I leave it?
I mean, and it's the ACC. You know what I'm saying? I'm from Maryland. I got family in the area. You know what I mean? Like
That's the
all of
most
that.
important part.
Yeah, all of that played a role. You know what I mean? I
Home
booked
cooked
mine
meals.
with my brothers that's on the squad. You know what I mean? So coming into my sophomore year, I had a little chip on my shoulder for real. And like I told y'all, you know, before we was on camera, Like I put in so much work going
Right.
into my sophomore year. Like
you
that
say you was
summer.
135.
I was 135 when I got to Maryland. You know what I'm saying? When I went back my sophomore year, I was 155.
Yeah, that's
you know what I
work.
mean? From in the weight room every day, getting up shots every day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
working on, like, honestly,
Yeah.
to me, I think my freshman year, the biggest issue for me was just getting accustomed to the speed of college level
Yeah.
And college life.
and the physical part and college life. You know what I mean? Because I definitely enjoyed college life.
Yes, at Maryland, I believe it.
I ain't put time in college nowhere, but I stayed on campus with bro, and I felt like
Yeah, you know what I mean? That college life is
But yeah, so Gary Williams definitely played an instrument part in your career while you was at Maryland. The little brief stint that you had there.
absolutely, man. Like he changed my mindset just on a, like, just from a, just knowing the game standpoint. You know what I
Right.
mean? Because you always think you know the game,
Always.
especially when you that guy like in your area. You think you know the game. When you that guy and you go out. When you that guy in your area and then you still going like out in AAU and play around the country.
Yeah.
And you still like held your own. And you still that guy.
And you still feel like you
You
know
know what I'm
everything.
saying? So you thinking like that's also like when Cub was trying to get me away from going to Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still like pretty much my mindset was like Cub, I'm that guy.
Right. No matter
Like,
where I go.
I don't care who there. You
Right.
feel me? Like this
It's
shit
not just
destiny.
that. I feel what you're saying too. Because why would you want to go from Maryland to Villanova and Philly, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's where
yeah.
it's
Your
from that-
mom drive from Maryland to Philly, which is
Yeah,
not
I mean
too
it's about the
far,
same
but,
distance.
you
It's
know
the
what
same
I'm
distance, and honestly, I got like a lot of my family is, on my mom's side is from Philly.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So you had the best of both worlds.
I had the
You
best of
could've
both
been
worlds,
anyway.
like either between St. Joe's, Philly, St. Joe's, Temple, Villanova.
Yeah, you
Like
was good.
I was good either way.
Right.
Like from Wilmington on up to Philly, like a lot of my mom's side of the family, that's where they live at.
But I
You know
also
what I'm saying?
understand what Cal was trying to do, and shout out to him. All your players that was in your program, you trying to get them at one spot.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
so you already got the chemistry. Let's make this program.
Right.
Ain't nothing like
not
playing
only
with people that you know, though.
not only that, but I think for the most part, I don't even know if that was in Cub's mindset. I think in Cub's mindset was Cub seen
Yeah,
he seen what was going on.
See
You know
the
what I'm saying? He
landscape of the
seen,
team.
yeah, he seen like he see Gary Williams run the flex. Dre, you love pick and roll.
Right,
you,
right, right,
you,
right,
you
right.
love ISO.
Right.
You love playing fast.
Right.
And not that Gary didn't like playing fast, but Gary ran the flex.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he looked at that. Then he looked at like, bro, it's the ACC. Majority of the point guards in the ACC is 6'2", 6'3", or taller. You know what I'm saying? So you got
That's
that.
right.
I'm not thinking about none of that. And then on top of that, he's looking at the roster. And he's
Who's
looking
there,
at who's there. He's looking
what
at
year they
seniority.
are, yeah.
He's looking at Steve Blake just led them to
And
to a Final Four.
Right,
You know what
right,
I mean?
right.
And then on top of that, he's looking at like, because like I said, like what was supposed to be my freshman year was supposed to be Steve Blake's sophomore year.
Right.
So now he's looking at, bro, you playing, you about to go to Maryland
Play
and
his
sit behind the
All-Americans.
guy for 3 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Me, my mentality, I'm not looking at that. I'm like, I'm gonna go and
That's how I was.
I'm
with
gonna
Sean.
kill him.
yo,
Exactly.
I'm gonna
Kill him.
go and take that spot. Like I'm not thinking about that. You know what I mean? And it's also a part. It's a lot of that has to do with me coming from where I come from, and a lot of people not going through that type of situation. I didn't have
Like
anybody.
they go through that fire. He had a silver spoon.
I didn't have anybody, but I didn't have anybody to talk to be like, yo, talk me through this whole recruitment like process. You know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't be like, yo, big bro. You know what I'm saying? Like how this go? Cause Big Bro ain't had the grades either.
Right,
Big Bro had the
right,
grades
right.
to Cecil. You feel me? I couldn't talk. There's nobody in Christopher that I could reach out to and be like, hey man, like you know what I'm saying? What should I really look at when I'm deciding where I'm gonna go play college basketball?
And it needs to be like who's at my position, how long
Yeah.
they're there, what
The
type of system they run.
all of that matters.
All
You
that
know what I'm
matters.
saying? Like all of it matter, man. When you get to the next level after high school,
Yeah,
to be honest, everything's an even playing field.
it is. And it's
Me
all
pers-
about the situation.
Yeah, it's all about situation, where you are,
Mm-hmm.
because I could easily lean into Loyola.
That's my next question. What was the biggest difference and what was that transition like Because
just
you
got
put on.
opportunity.
That was the biggest difference.
Biggest difference. If you look back, if you go and look back in games that I played when I was at Maryland,
Yeah.
I get in like 5 minutes.
7
8
points.
points.
Right.
8 points, 5 assists, 3 steals. A lot of the time.
But
You know
how
what
can
I'm
you
saying?
play over All-American though? That's
A lot of the
that's the
time.
only thing.
And then what people also got to look into, man, and it's crazy because I didn't understand this until I didn't know this until I got to Loyola. So Jimmy Patsos, who was at Maryland, he was assistant when I was there. He was one of the coaches that recruited me. He's actually either the first or second coach. I want to think either him or Billy Hahn. Billy Hahn was assistant for Bob Huggins at West Virginia. But it was between them two was the first people that saw me when I was at Gary Williams camp.
Right.
And so they started recruiting. They were the ones who was holding my recruitment. And when I transferred to Loyola with Jimmy Patsos, like me and him just had a heart. Jimmy, my man, like that's my guy.
Got you.
Like my guy. You know what I'm saying?
You
And,
know you ain't had that chance.
like I committed to, because when I left Maryland, like I was living on campus, but I wasn't going to class.
No, right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and when I ended up going to Loyola. I was entertaining University of Maryland Eastern Shore.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't go there because I knew I wouldn't be eligible.
Right.
If I'm being real.
Right.
It's too close on. It's 15 minutes from the crib.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been eligible.
Yeah.
So, like, and I would have, like, the whole shore, everybody would have been coming through. Like,
Right.
it'd been crazy.
Right.
Like, we wouldn't be sitting in here.
Right.
If you
right. That's real though.
If
That's
I'm
real. That's real.
You feel me? We wouldn't be sitting in here, bro. Like, if I'm keeping it in the grip, like, we wouldn't be here right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I entertained it for a short second. I was thinking about majority of the schools that I was really close to signing with before I decided Maryland. So St. Joe's, UD, Villanova, Temple. They were all like
the ones you was
the
considering.
one I was considering. Jimmy called me, and matter of fact, when I went into office and told them that I was transferring, Jimmy kind of pulled me out and was like, yo, don't make any quick decisions. I can't really go into detail, but don't make any quick decisions.
Right.
So when he took the job at Loyola and he called me, I committed to him before I even visit the campus.
No-brainer.
You feel me?
There wasn't
Like,
no need to really go nowhere else at that point in time.
yeah, so when I got to Loyola, bro, it was a struggle on like what I had to do to be eligible.
Yeah.
Because I had like 78 credits, 79 credits when I left. And when I left Maryland and transferred over to Loyola
Probably like
only
30.
accepted 28 of them.
Yeah, that's how.
Man,
Yo.
So then I had to get to, in order to play my senior year, I had to get to 90 from 28 credits in 1 year. So I went to school. So you talk about like really wanting it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Went all year.
like I went to school all like a full year round.
Yes, you did.
Matter of fact, 2. If we keep, you know what I'm saying? Because I went summer session 1, summer session 2, fall, winter, spring, summer 1, summer 2. In order to be eligible by
Before this-
fall going into my senior year.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, to get to 90, I had to do it.
You buckled down though.
I had to put my big boy pants on, persevere. You know what I mean? Like, yo, this is what you want. Like,
Because who
It's just what it
knows what happens if Drake Collins don't push for that 90.
yeah, I mean, like, and honestly, man, I felt into a state of depression. Like I said, you know what I mean? Like, when that Maryland situation wasn't happening, like, I got a man, my man Mackie, you know what I'm saying? He went to Maryland with me. Like, yo, like, he'll tell you, like, bro, I was slinging that pack on campus.
You had to.
You know what I mean? Like, I went to a mental state of depression, bro. Like, sipping, you know what I mean? I ended up getting to, like, 195.
From
Think about that.
135 to
135 and
195
195 in 3 years, bro.
60 pounds.
You know what I mean? So like, and what's crazy is this is the first time I've ever said this in front of camera. But I rock with y'all. You know what I mean? So like, a lot of people don't know that about me. You know what I mean? So for people that is really like close with me. You know what I'm saying? So like, I went to like 190, 195, bro. So I had to work all of that off. But that extra weight helped me out. Because now I'm playing bully ball. I'm different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's
But I'm gonna
different.
tell you,
Yeah.
I want to stop you. I want to give you some more flowers though, Drake, because from the time we started the interview to now, I just see a whole bunch of perseverance. I don't see an individual that stopped or
Right.
individual that let life get the best of them.
Yeah, a
Or
lot of people.
situations.
A lot of people look at my story and they look at like,
The success in it. Though.
yeah. So they look at like,
But you tried a lot throughout
but
the story.
But I
though, Dre.
also haven't told the story either.
Yeah.
You feel me? I
Right,
haven't
right,
really
right,
told the story because
But it's coming to him. It's coming.
Yeah, it is.
As he
It
takes
is.
it's
It
coming.
is. You know what I'm saying? But like, because I'm real. I'm super guarded. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And sometimes me being super guarded kind of send off the wrong vibe too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think
That's
the
me.
real people will look at me like, oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
okay with being different, cause trust me, they say,
You feel me? Like,
I ain't even worried about it. It's alright
yeah,
being different, man.
Yeah, facts. You know what I mean? But like, it took me a minute to be like comfortable to
Right.
like share certain things. You know what I'm saying?
That's all of us though.
Yeah,
bro. That's all
so
of
like
us,
people
man.
look at my story, man. They just look at it at the end, or they look at like when I first got my range.
Yeah.
You feel me? They look at that. And
They
they're
say,
like,
oh
see
man, he
what I
had the
had to
range,
do.
but they
Yeah.
didn't know you was in the gym. It's like
Yeah.
12:30, 1 o'clock.
but what they don't know is, or they look at me in the bar like my first few years overseas, I was doing crazy, just dumb
Yeah.
shit, like spending hella bread. Like it wasn't nothing for me to
Drop
drop.
Right, something crazy. out
$2
here.
grand in Salisbury.
Right, it's
You know what I
Salisbury.
mean? Or 1,000 in Chrisville, where it's a stupid bar. I'm just buying the whole bar off of
But
everybody.
it's just crazy because everybody sees this, the 25 sophomore year. Everybody sees the state championship. Everybody sees the national championship. Playing with Juan Dixon and Blake. Everybody sees the leading the nation in scoring.
Yeah.
Not just putting up buckets, leading
Right.
the nation in scoring.
Right.
Everybody sees the overseas league. But nobody sees your brother crying. Nobody
Yeah.
sees
That
you
next-
working with
that
Pope and
next
Dre.
meal.
Nobody
Yeah.
sees
You know what I mean?
you having to fight with Steve Blake. Nobody sees
You stand with your mentor.
get
Yeah.
195. Nobody
Yeah.
sees that
credits.
Nobody
It's
sees
the
like,
good
nobody
signs,
see
it's
like
the
having to get, you know what I mean, go from 28 credits to 90 in a
Yeah,
year.
that's tough.
Nobody
You know what I'm
don't, you know
saying?
what
But
I
if they
mean?
didn't hear
Like,
what you said you did 2 years.
yeah,
working
2
to get your
years,
shit
2
together.
years all full school, no non-stop, don't come home. You feel me?
But that's where the juice is at. That's
Yeah.
where the money's at.
This is
Yeah,
why I
yeah,
tip my
that's
hat.
right.
This is why I tip my hat off to you, because I'm a mama's boy, and it's always gonna be like that's my baby, that's my heart. There's no way I could disappear for 2 years. That's just me. I couldn't have did it. Not 2 years.
Right. I mean, I came home, but what I'm saying is like I'm living on campus, like you know what I mean, like locked in. Like I went home when everybody else was at home for like a month, 2 months. I'm in school.
That's why when you say summer sessions, I know because my last year of baseball, I still had 18 credits to get. So I had to go to that summer one,
Yeah.
summer
We
two.
both transferred. We both lost a whole bunch of credits.
and there was no baseball ahead of me. It was just
Right.
a degree. But I'm
Right.
like, man, I done put in all this time. I ain't
Yep.
stopping now. But I know that summer one. I know that summer
yeah,
two.
man.
I did that.
It was hell, man. But it was honestly like that's one of the things I'm most proud of because it's something I can look back on. I hated school.
Yes.
But it's also something I look back on when, like now I can stand valid and be like, yo, to my son.
I hated it, but I knocked it out the park,
What?
though.
Son,
You know
straight
what
A
I'm saying?
student because I can be able to go to him. And his mom was a collegiate athlete. She
Right.
ran track in college.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And she has her doctorate degree.
Oh,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? So like that's something I can always go to him and my daughter and stand on. You know what I mean? Because obviously looking from an educational standpoint, looking what their mom said.
Right.
Like me and her in two different.
Right.
You
Man,
feel me?
gotta explain, bro.
We in two different lanes. We in two different lanes.
already know.
But from a hooping standpoint, I know how easy it is to like to gain some type of like big head and praise. You know what I'm saying? And be like, oh shit, I'm good regardless.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now I can be like, yo, son, hold on, bro. This is what your pop had to do. You don't want to do that.
Right.
So the fact that I was able to come out on the other side, the positive side of that, you know what I mean? I cherish that.
Yes.
You feel me?
Like you say, you can stand on it. It's a different.
Yeah, I
like
can
I tell
stand
my
on
young
it.
boys, when we try to tell them what hard work, you stand differently when you know you put the work in.
Right, facts.
Like a man that's put the work in, he stand differently than somebody that's been spoon fed or has
Yeah.
been handed to
But
him.
you can hear it in
Yeah.
his voice as well. You can
Yeah.
hear that pain in his
Yes,
man's
sir.
voice, and you can see it in his eyes. You know what he's been through, and if your story ain't comparing to his, you know that.
Yeah.
You know, like I can see what you've been through. I can hear it in your voice. You know what I mean? I got cousins from the city, so I know what they've been through. I ain't from the city, but You know what I mean? I grew up in something like a city, so you know what I mean. I know what we all went through the same thing, but y'all's is a little bit harder because it's right there. It was heroin. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Where I'm
right.
from, it's crack.
Right.
So you know what I mean. But I know how it hits. So you know what I mean. The
Yeah.
hurdles.
So I wanna touch base on. You let the nation scoring, dog.
So for probably about 3 weeks, bro, like it was me, Adam Morrison, JJ Redick, Keegan Clark.
Oh, that's great company.
So I finished.
That is great company.
So I finished fourth in the nation by 0.2 points with Keegan Clark. He averaged like 26.4.
But still,
And
something
JJ
that.
Light was green as all outdoors.
Oh yeah.
Adam Morrison
Yes,
was
sir.
too.
Adam was green.
But for a moment,
But he
for a
didn't-
minute,
Yeah.
I led the nation in 3-point field goals, finished the season. But yeah, man, like that Loyola, like bro, that was
What conference? What other?
Loyola back then was in the MAC.
So
So you had Iona, you had
Okay.
Manhattan.
Okay.
Like I put it like this, St. Peter's. I put it like this: the MAC conference back then when I was playing, if you
It's
was
a
a
lot
guard, if you was a guard,
Yeah. You ate 'em.
you ain't had no light work.
Yeah.
You had no night.
That's
work.
a lot of city. That's a lot of like
Yeah,
New
yeah,
York,
yeah.
Jersey.
Majority of them are in New York. You had like
Yeah.
Niagara,
Mama's not in there, is it? Mama's is CAA, I think.
Canisius. But they switched it up. Like right now, Loyola's in the Patriot League now. They're not in the MAC anymore.
Okay.
But back then, like bro, that it was different.
Yeah.
Steve Burt, like it was different. Like
Yeah.
that bump was different. So
Yeah.
like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't care who we played as far as like colleges. Like, 'cause we played like I gave Providence 39 at Providence.
Who was on Providence at the time?
I can't.
What year was this?
This was 2005, 2006.
That was our senior year. No, that was the year after we graduated.
Yeah, so I gave Providence 39, I gave Manhattan 39, I gave UD 36 and
What's the most you ever
86.
scored in a college game?
In a college game, 39 was the most. High school game, I had 62 and 3/4.
Man, you nasty.
And what's the team you played for across seas?
Overseas, my first 3 years I played for a team called Carife Farada.
I was about to say, before we even got into that, I wanted to know how many places you've been to.
Overseas?
And,
Yeah.
and which one was your favorite? Because, you know what I'm saying? I know
It's
how
different over
it
there.
is over there. Because I was in Russia for
Two
a
days.
short period of time.
Not easy days. He was over Russia for 36 minutes.
But
Yes, sir.
I know it's some
Dirty
beautiful
over
places over there. But what's
So
the,
like my favorite country is Italy. I played
I
8.5 years in Italy. It was the
What's
first
the
first
pasta
place
hitting
I
for, man? That's what I need.
What's that?
What's the pasta hitting for? Because I'm a big pasta guy. What's that hitting for, man?
The what?
The pasta.
The pasta? Oh, bro, like Italy.
You ain't gonna
is
get it,
that.
but that's where it
what I'm
came
saying,
from.
bro.
Italy is that.
That's
Like,
where it
dog,
came
like
from.
they got this man. They used to sing because my favorite pasta in the first place I played at. I played there for 3 years, where I went to Chip. Like they got where the bars are named after me. They got like a picture of me hanging in the arena. I'm actually my Project Exposure project. That's where we're taking.
Okay.
Okay.
But they got a pasta over there called Zucco con ragu. If y'all ain't know I'm fluent in Italian.
I heard you.
Now
I heard
listen,
you.
you got that-
I see the way it rolled off your
Yeah,
tongue.
you feel me?
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
You feel me?
you was a tutor.
Ragu,
That rolled off
you
your tongue
feel
real
that's
smooth.
good shit.
I heard you. I didn't even know you was
feel
black
me?
when you started talking like that.
But yeah, bro, like that shit is pumpkin and ragu.
Jumping.
So it's pumpkin and meat sauce, pause. Like,
That's
bro,
it. Jumping.
crazy. Yeah. Like, think about it. You gonna eat pumpkin
No.
here?
No.
So you go over there, they just throwing stuff at you like, yo, what's this, man? Just eat it. Like, bro, like, so at the games, whenever we would go crazy, like if I would, it'd be times where I had a green light there, like my first 3 years. Like honestly, that's how I had
Made your
I got
name.
MVP and
Right,
like
right.
all of that, won the chip. You know what I'm saying? So they made that into like a song because they knew that was my favorite pasta.
Right, right.
You know what I mean? Like, yo, that shit, it was crazy, but
They got a different meaning behind their sports over there, whether
Yeah.
it's basketball,
soccer's legit the first sport.
sport, definitely, definitely.
But
Italy.
they get like, bro, they're real passionate about their sports.
Yes, they
like,
are.
super passionate.
Yes, they are.
I put it like this: it's NCAA,
They're fighting you over their team.
it's college because every game matters.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's a college vibe. It's just pro. You know what I mean?
Right.
But to Kyle's question, Italy is definitely the best country I've played in. But my favorite place probably is Istanbul in Turkey. Like,
What made that special?
bro.
You ain't gotta say
I
that.
can't.
see what you do.
Like,
camera
listen,
gonna come on.
like, bro, like Istanbul is like LA. You know what I'm saying? In Turkey. Like it just Istanbul had that vibe that it made me feel like I was back home.
Listen, because that's what Cali does.
You know what I'm
when we land in Cali, it's just like nothing matters.
Yeah.
And everybody just, it's all love. The vibe is crazy in Cali.
Like it made me feel Istanbul is the only place in my 10 and a half years overseas. It's the only place where I felt at home.
Right.
Like
That was another.
from shopping, and Italy is where all the designers.
Yes, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that Gucci, Louis, like all that Fendi.
All that. That's what
Like-
Fashion Week is at, I think.
Like, all of that is Berber. All of that is right there in Italy, and I was probably about 20 minutes from it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But Istanbul, just from nightlife, from the vibe, people speaking English.
Yeah,
like-
that's big. See, people don't realize that when you go overseas, you can't speak their language. And you,
Like,
Like,
lost a
yeah,
little
like
you
bro,
gotta eat still.
That's
you know
why.
what I mean?
That's why I learned. That's why I ended up learning Italian. Like I was dealing with a girl, and she pretty much taught me that she didn't speak no English.
Right.
Like just seeing each other in the club, we vibe.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's what it was. And you know what I'm saying? Like I used to go back, cut my summer short, and I would go back a week early and chill with her and her family in Calabria. And that's how I learned Italian. You know what I'm saying? Like, also because like with me, I wanted to dive all the way into the culture.
Yeah.
You know, you feel me? Like,
sir.
because I'm big on that. Like, so I would dive all the way into the culture, and that's another reason why like my name is good over there. In Italy, my name is Stan. You know what I'm saying? Just from a standpoint, like we don't even gotta make it to the basketball court. What I did in the games.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We could just talk about like who I was off the court. You know what I mean? Just diving into their culture. But Istanbul, bro, just from like when I played in Turkey, I was an hour and a half from the Syrian border, and that was when Syria was in war. You know what I'm saying? Like my first like week in the country in Turkey, it was a car bomb in the city I was living in.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's serious.
So I would fly to Istanbul whenever we had a break. Whenever like we had a game,
Right.
I was in Istanbul when my family came back because my kid's mom, she ended up getting pregnant when I was in Turkey, so they flew back. So from then, the time they flew back until the end of the season, I was flying to Istanbul every weekend.
How long did you play? You played in Istanbul, right?
Now I played in Turkey in a city called Gaziantep.
Okay. How long was you there?
I only played there for a year.
Okay.
Yeah, I played there for a year.
Because you was over there for what? You said 10?
10 and a half, yeah.
So you did 3 in Italy?
So I did 8.5 in Italy.
Oh, okay.
A year in Belgium. So actually I was there 11. A year in Belgium, and then 2 years in Belgium. A year in Turkey. So I did 8.5 in Italy, a year in Turkey, 2 in Belgium.
And you
That's
left your
a hell of a
motherfucking
career.
stamp over there.
That's a
Yeah,
hell of a
bro.
career.
Yeah.
To be able to play the
And you
game
left that motherfucking
Yeah.
over
stamp.
there
Yes,
for
sir,
that
bro.
amount of time, like that's.
Yeah.
And for real, like you said, like even when I first came here, like you blessed, like you everything that you got, you work for it.
Yeah,
You
it
know
came
what
from
I'm
hard
saying?
work, man.
Yeah,
You know
And
what I
then
mean?
that's,
hard work,
that's
bro.
comes with the blessing. Like I said, them credits.
Yeah.
That's
you
what
know, if
take
you
life
don't do
with
them
them.
credits, who
We're
knows
not
if you
sitting
get
here
to
like
be
you
able,
said.
you know
Like I
what I'm saying?
said, we
So-
not here.
Nah.
So that's why I said your blessing came from your hard work. And
Yeah.
like I said, I didn't. See, I heard of you through Cove and them because, like I said, I played sharpshooters before. Y'all paved the way for me because, like I said, we was Reebok, you know, I was
Right.
Nike.
Right.
So I heard of you then, and then while you doing your thing overseas or however, we was just running and getting out
Yeah.
of.
Where did we run into
high
him at?
school.
And they beat. Where did we run into him?
We
at?
ran into
I was
at Sean's
guarding him,
event.
and he was
The Sean's event.
got off.
That it was you, Boo, Ricks. I forget everybody y'all had on that team.
They
Played
ran through
Door
us.
Central.
That was my first
Oh,
time.
yeah, yeah,
played
yeah.
that, but he had the range.
I had retired.
He had the Range Rover.
Yeah.
Did I have the range then?
Remember I said I could go cross seas too. If I could guard him, I could go cross seas too. Come on now, let's talk.
Sean, I had the,
Yeah, we showing shit.
I had my C class now.
No, you pulled up in that range.
Nah, it must have been. It must
The
have
Mercedes car. I remember.
at Sean Joint. At Sean
I got 3 different cars.
It
What
was
did the
that
man
Mercedes,
pull up in?
all
at
black.
Sean Joint, at Schneid, it was a matte gray.
Yeah, great. It was
It
crazy.
was a C300 coupe.
That was my first time. Like,
I got rid of that last
That was my
last
first
year
time seeing it.
because I just had another kid. So I was like, damn, I ain't got no space now. I had to get rid of my baby.
Yes, sir.
But
That
the
was my
range,
first time.
we might have played y'all. I think my first time playing against Smoke for real was at Maple Shade, the joint right outside of Mardella. Right outside of Mardella, like you going towards Cambridge.
That little shed.
Yup, it was
That
like a
little
little
shed.
shed.
You remember that when we used to go out there, we used to
Small
ride
box.
on 50.
Right, yup.
Right
that's
off
it.
the highway.
That's when I had my range.
Man, I remember playing him somewhere. He had that range.
That was it. That was
Hey, man, I said, come on, man, stop it. Cause I said, I know if I can guard him.
No, he think about Craig. He think about
Yeah,
Craig.
it was
you think about
Craig.
Craig.
It was him and Craig.
Who?
When
You
played
think about
them.
Craig. We played him down in Snow Hill.
Craig ain't got no ball here.
Yeah, I know you're talking.
No, Craig don't got no ball
I
in.
know who I was guarding.
course.
Craig's the dark skinned dude.
Yeah,
Like,
Craig-
I had
Craig
range.
had the
That's
ball.
when he took over.
Of course, I remember.
Come on.
Yeah, man. Like I remember hearing the name, but I ain't know you. Cause like I said, when you doing your thing, we just now coming into ourselves. We
Right.
just now running. So yeah, when we met you, I'm like, yeah, especially him. But this is my man, 100 grand. Like
Right.
this is here. He like, yeah, he's it. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody. You know
And
what I mean?
you showed us you
Yeah,
were too. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You
I
definitely
mean,
showed us.
that's one thing, man. Like I try to tell these cats, man, like the Jordan Duffys and Jamal Kings, the youngest who I be trying to vouch for, because they like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
They like that.
Jordan
you know
Duffy
what I'm
got
saying?
game.
Bro, they are
That's
tough.
one thing I gave.
They are
Came off
tough.
an injury, didn't he?
Ooh, Jordan.
One of them came
Jordan
off-
had a
somebody
story a
had
lot like me, bro.
Like an injury.
Jordan had a story a lot like me as far as like the school type joint, you know what I mean? But Jordan, honestly, to me, out of Jordan Duffy, Corey Holden,
got
and
it.
Jamal King, Jordan is the most skilled.
That was my that.
He is
And so
real-
so
I see
let's
the most skilled.
while we're right there,
I
let's
see- you can
touch on
tell
that.
off a skill.
Start, bench, cut. We always gotta do a hard one. We give everybody a hard one. Them 3 names you just said right there.
Start
Three
bench
names.
cut.
Start, bench,
And this
cut.
is not personal. This is
This is not
basketball.
personal.
Nah,
Same
it
thing
ain't
we told
basketball.
bro.
It ain't
Same thing we told bro.
personal because all 3 of them are my guys, and I've tried to help all 3 of them.
So they already know where the heart
on
at
a personal,
anyway.
on a personal level. You feel me? So if they take it personal, then it's an issue that they have.
Yes, indeed.
It's just keeping it a grip. You
And
know
I
what mean?
will say
But
before
like,
you go, the one thing I respect about you though, Dre, is when we play, I'm trying to bite your ear off. You see how I'm coming at these dudes that never
Right.
switch, never fold. The first time we played you, we played how we normally play, and you never took it personal.
might
A
not.
lot of people don't know how to leave it between the lines. Man.
Yeah,
Like, and one thing about us, as bad as y'all want to score, as bad we want to stop y'all.
yeah. And,
So,
and the thing with me,
you already know
is-
how that goes.
The thing with me is I'm always gonna respect someone to give everything at me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right,
just,
right,
just,
right.
just
I
off the
respect
strength.
you for not being
Yeah,
scared.
Right,
just,
right.
Yeah,
So, you
yeah.
can tell when somebody's scared.
Exactly.
You already know.
When somebody being scared, I'm like,
Yeah,
don't
like,
easy
bro.
50.
Yeah.
Right, right.
You know what I mean? But honestly, I feel like people who really come at me and be like, yo, I can guard you. When someone come at me
Respect.
and I can guard you, you showing me respect and you bringing the best out of me.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, like, I don't want to say I'm gonna give you the dog in me, but I'm not gonna give you everything
you
I
not
got in me
really
if you
coming at
really
me,
not
right.
coming at me.
Right,
you know what I
right,
mean?
right, right.
But like if you
That is
coming at me
facts.
and you talking, now we on a different level.
him.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now I'm like,
That's how he do me.
now I'm like, all right. Now,
Alright.
now I'm like, all right. I really gotta get in my bag, and you gonna make me play for real. Cause I'm gonna treat you like how I'm playing, like for real in a season. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, I had to learn that because to my youngin, Pooh Bear, Eddie Miller,
That's my baby right there.
like that's my guy. Like I love him to death because he's super humble.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I love him to death. But I'm gonna tell you a story, bro. Like when I was at Maryland, I had no clue who this youngin was.
Right.
And we playing back in Chrisville, and my high school coach's summer league. And I come through just on some like, I'm chilling. Like I come through on some chill shit. Like, and I had no clue who he was, but he's killing. I'm not even guarding, but he's killing. And the moment someone said, "Yo, like man, this young kid killed Andre Collins," and I wasn't even guarding him.
Right, right.
But because I'm on the same court as
We
him and he
sharing the
killed him,
court.
you know what I
We
mean?
sharing
Now
the
he
court.
killed me. So from then on, I had to develop that mindset whenever I come out here and play. Now I might not always have the right result, but whenever I got that mindset, I'm coming out on another level. You know what I mean? So like for me, man, it's always been like I always loved when someone came at me because you can get the best out of me.
Yep.
Yes,
You know what I'm saying? At least when I was in my prime,
Right.
you can get the best out of me.
We said Corey Hope.
Oh yeah. So to me, it's easy,
Uh-huh.
and I can give you the reasons why.
Right.
So I'm starting Jamal King because he is a dog.
Yes, he is. He
That's
has
why
an
I'm
edge on
starting
him.
him.
He has an edge on him.
That's why I'm starting. He's a dog. He's not the most talented out of them. He's a dog.
Where did he go to college
A lot
at?
of people don't understand.
He went to St. Francis.
Shout out Jamal King too, man.
A lot of people don't
keep
understand
keep
that.
putting in that
You
work.
gotta
And
have-
I
Yeah.
played
You
in
gotta have a good
Salisbury,
ball with
and when I left, I said, yeah.
Yeah.
Because he made me, like you said, have to play. Most people, I could cheat.
I remember that- that
You know
back
what I
gym
mean?
in
But
Salisbury,
Come on, man.
the Boys
Come
and
on,
Girls
man.
Club. I
And he,
remember
and he
that.
brought,
It was
he
my
brought the game.
It was by my league.
He
Yes,
brought
sir.
the game.
Yes,
It was
sir.
a
I
lab league.
remember that.
It was
Yes.
a lab league.
Yes,
Damn,
it was.
like,
Yeah.
yo, all right. Like,
No,
he
I wasn't
tough.
playing. It was Kyle was playing with
So
Kirk.
I understand what you're saying about that.
It was
because
Michael
same-
Bubbles in there.
I probably
Yeah.
think Jordan is
Yeah.
probably more skilled.
Jordan, to me,
Nah, it was just like a
might be
league.
more
Dre had.
skilled.
so I'm starting Jamal because he's a dog.
Right.
You know what I mean? Every time he gave work to Carolina. He gave work to a lot of schools.
Yes,
bro.
he did. I looked him
College
up.
I
level.
kept up
I
with
looked
it.
him
Yeah.
up.
Like that's why it be blowing me when Fletcher and them be talking on the podcast.
And we
on
still
that
love
show.
y'all, Fletch, but
Yeah,
you
nah.
talk crazy sometimes.
Nah, no doubt. But to me, I feel like resumes on the shore is not respected enough.
Right, right.
You feel me?
Right.
And that's a whole nother topic. But I'm going with Jamal as starting.
Got started.
I'm benching Duff
Duff.
because, like I said, to me, Duff is the most skilled out
Talented.
of
Yes,
all
he
of
is.
them.
Yes, he is.
You know what I mean?
He's a tough guard.
And then I gotta cut Corey. And the reason why I'm cutting Corey is only because like with Corey probably had the most potential out of the three.
Yeah.
Corey's about 6'2", 6'3". He's a like NBA body.
Because Jamal King's shorter than me. And he,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He get the most out of his body.
Yeah,
You know
like
what I'm saying?
but Corey like NBA body, 6'2", 6'3",
Right.
NBA body. You know, he's a lefty, so
Even
I
harder
already
to
know
guard.
that's yeah.
you know what I mean? But Corey chill a lot.
I hate that word, cuz.
You know what I mean? Like he
Nonchalant.
he chills a lot. You know what I mean?
Nonchalant.
But again, out of the three, he probably had the most potential.
Right.
Mike
You know what I'm saying?
Biggs.
Because that's the thing about Jamal.
Tough.
Mike
Jamal
King.
King going hard every play. You
He's
know
gonna
what
go
I'm saying?
hard because he just got that dog in him. And not saying the other
Don't.
like,
Yeah, I
the
know
other two
what
Not
you're
saying
saying.
they don't.
But
That's
like,
this is like that's him.
I feel like
Every
I
play.
feel like Marmor. I like to look at him and think of like to my story and the way I played a lot.
Right.
Like you always had something to prove. You know what I'm saying? Like you always like I'm the shortest on the court, so I gotta have an edge. I gotta come with something different. And that's how he is. You know what I mean? Like, and he come from a family that just they're dogs, like point guard. Like, you know what I mean?
The
In
city.
Salisbury, you mentioned the King last name, like you know that
already know
they,
what's up.
you know, they stamp from that
You
point
said
guard
when
perspective.
you said you was talking about his dad earlier. I
Yeah.
thought you were talking about his son because I
Yeah,
know his
nah.
son. I just met him.
Like I had big battles with his dad, bro.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Big battles with his dad. You know what I'm saying? And for him, it wasn't even necessarily on a like scoring type of vibe.
Right.
Think about this: like if you are a person that can get a bucket and assist, like I was, like averaging. My junior year was his dad's senior year. I averaged 29 and 9 assists. Right. His dad probably averaged about 15, like 10, 11 assists. He wasn't necessarily like I'm going to get a bucket type loud.
But it could still get some.
But for me, I looked at that as a matchup just because like how great he was with controlling his team.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So he came from a family that was like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like through that Y high system. So yeah, man, that's my reason. Like
Man, listen, I
Duff,
can dig all of them though.
Duff is a bucket.
Yeah.
Duff is to me the most polished, the most skilled.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think like first time I played against Duff, I told Duff, I'm like, yo, bro, you showing me too, bro. You showing me, Craig, Bubby, because we was playing in the assembly in Tuck's joint at the church, and I was like, bro, you showing too much respect, man. You get out here, you gotta eat.
Yeah.
Because I seen it in him. I never seen him play high school, but everybody used to tell me like, yo, Dre, you gotta see Duff, bro. Like he is tough.
And then I know.
And then when I seen him,
I know how it
he
is.
kind of like was chilling,
Showing
cool.
respect
Sometimes
to
you don't
y'all,
know.
yeah.
Sometimes you don't know what Duff you can get.
Right.
Sometimes Duff can chill, and then sometimes Duff
gonna
can
kill.
be like kill mode.
Right.
Yeah, I want to see like, and that's just me anyway. I like
Right.
dogs like all the time.
Yes, sir. I'm
You know what I mean?
attracted
So-
to him. I'm attracted to
So
him.
I want to see Duff be that dog all the
Yeah.
time. If Duff is that dog all the time,
His game
I'm
shoot to
picking
another level.
Duff every time.
That's what they say about me.
Yeah, I'm
Exactly
picking
what
Duff
they
every
say.
time. But like, yeah, I agree though. I can agree. You know what I'm saying? Like with you, like Kyle, like I agree with that. Cause I used to be like, yo, Kyle was on kill all the time.
Like Kurt, like they said, me and Kurt roll switched.
Because Kurt's going out there, Kurt's
Kurt
trying
mind,
to kill you.
but see the different, like Kurt got a different mindset though. Cause Kurt really ain't like that facilitator to get a dime
he's
from
not.
the guy.
He's
not.
Kurt want to get a
Hard to
bucket.
get
Kurt
it back.
remind me a lot of my brother Andy. You feel me? Like Andy's short. He's maybe like 5'7", but is a legit bucket.
Right.
Like I'm talking like
You know what it is.
legit pull from half, get in the lane and hang and finish, like all of that. You know what I mean? Sniper, like straight up sniper. You know what I mean? Like best game I ever seen in high school was him and Albert Morton. Albert had 40, he had 39, 17 assists and 15 rebounds. Like
God
5'7".
Shit.
Triple overtime, they lost by 1.
And that's definitely what we're gonna transition into next, Dre. I'm gonna finish up with some quick hitters. So I'm gonna say a name, and I want you to say one of the first words or phrases that come to your mind.
Alright.
And we're gonna start there. Albert Morning,
Sniper.
sniper. I hear about this
Locked
man,
and
bro.
loaded. Locked
He
and
went
loaded.
to
Target.
UConn.
Locked and, he got a chip
He still
too.
got name. His name
got
is
a-
on a couple of them lists on that
he
UConn
got a chip.
list,
He got
bro.
a chip too.
He played with was it Rip or Ray?
He played with Rip.
He played with Rip.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
played
he
with
said
Rip. Yep.
He missed
Yeah.
Ray.
Cove.
Go.
Go.
Pioneer.
I was about to say
Pioneer.
Yes.
Pioneer probably. GOAT probably won't do him justice.
It
If
won't.
people don't understand why I'm calling him GOAT.
Right.
Pioneer to any kid from the Eastern Shore that has ever had a chance, and I know this is more than one word, but I feel like with Cubs you can't dumb it
Man,
down. to
listen,
one
I
word.
was about to ask,
Like
who
that.
else was with Cub?
Frank.
Okay,
who's
Frank, he was there
and-
when I
and
was
Daryl
there.
Norwood.
And they both
know
of
what
them
I'm
were there.
saying?
Shout
And
the
them was
guys
like,
out,
all
man.
of
Them,
them,
man.
all of them.
You know what I mean? Like-
Daryl is Jude.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
yeah.
how me and Jew
I
like
got
that.
you. I
You
got
know what
you.
I'm saying?
I got
Like,
you.
and them, they've been together. Like I said, we was rebounding.
Like Cub is gonna have an episode on Roses. It's
Yeah, he
only
has
right.
to, he has
It's only
to.
right. You feel me?
He has
Like
to.
Because I don't
And-
really know him personally. Me and bro
Yeah.
don't really know him personally,
has
but
to.
that's Kyle's guy. So
Yes.
eventually
I
down the
just know
line,
him coming
we
up.
definitely got to
Yeah.
get you
That
on
was
here.
just off the love that, you know what I
Like,
mean, he
yo,
had
like-
for
like,
and
listen.
Yo,
man, listen.
Cub was that guy. That is
Cub
dope.
and still to this day he's still doing it.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like
Yeah.
maybe not in the capacity that he was when he had the sharpshooters.
But he's
But
connecting
he's still,
dots.
he's still involved.
Right.
You know what I mean? If I pick up the phone right now, like, yo, Cub, man, listen, I got a kid right now. I need
He can
you.
make something happen.
He gonna make something
I'm trying
happen.
to tell you.
You
That's
feel me? He'll make
guaranteed.
something
dog.
happen.
Guaranteed.
Like Cub is like, Cub is like, what's my man name?
Pioneer, all of them.
World Wide West.
Worldwide West from he
Like
was the
that
Asian
whole
dude.
shout out all the time.
Yeah.
Cubs like World Wide West, bro. Like super connected, super like network heavy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like only thing I can say, Pioneer, bro.
Gary
Pioneer.
Williams.
Gary Williams. Man, I'm gonna say appreciation, bro. Like a lot of people think that, and I'm just speaking off of my relationship, my rapport
And that's
with him.
that's all you can
You
speak
know what I mean?
on,
Because
bro.
I get this question a lot, like, man, like people honestly when they approach me because they think I'm gonna like I have ill will,
Right.
like feelings towards
Right,
him,
right.
because of the way my situation personally panned out with him. But like I love him to death just for the opportunity for me to have like to come from Chrisfield,
Bring a kid from right. You
come
know
down
what
to
I'm
Cape and watch me score 36 or whatever it was
Right.
against Cape and or whatever I did against St. Patrick. You know what I'm saying? Like he could have been anywhere, bro. He came and watched a kid from Chrisfield. You feel me? So like just appreciation because at the end of the day I'm still in multiple record books because of him.
Yeah.
State national championship.
Yeah.
Last bucket.
Last bucket. That's my favorite one for you though, bro.
You
The
feel me?
last
Like I'm the last, like the person the
Like, I know
last
the
scored
nigga
official
last
basket
bucket.
in an arena, bro. You know what I'm saying? In a
That's real.
historic arena. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So like, and even to this day, like a lot of people don't understand when I went and transferred and I told him I was leaving. Last thing he said to me was like, because he tried to convince me to stay.
Right.
The last words he said to me was like, Dre, man, I know if you get the opportunity, the sky's the limit for you. You know what I mean? And to me,
That's
that was
respect,
real.
though, man.
That
That's
was
respect.
real. When I was
That's
at
respect.
Loyola and I went through the whole season killing, averaging 26, whatever it was, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in my coach's office, he on the phone, he asked to holler at me, we was rapping on the phone, he was like, man, listen, this is where you earn your money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is where, blah, blah, blah. Like, you had a great season, you did what you do, and nothing can change, keep the same mindset. You go out and kill, but this is when all the lights is on, this is when it matters. You feel me? Like, he's still playing that coach role. Like, a lot of people, like, I just did an event with him, like, 2-3 years ago. He came and spoke down, you know what I mean? Yes.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
That's
And,
I'm too
yeah.
busy, or they
Right.
ain't got time for that.
yeah,
you
like,
know what I mean?
I just did an event with him, and he could have easily went and talked about Ron Dixon, talked about Steve Blake, talked about Chris Wilcox, Steve Francis.
Right.
You feel me? Like, could have easily talked about those guys, but he's talking about some legit stuff that I was going through to the team.
Right.
Like the boys and the girls team at UMES. You know what I'm saying? With me there talking about, like, you know what I mean, just my mindset and the way I carry things and how I practice and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So definitely appreciation for him, man.
All right, we got two more. Brian Pope.
Hurt.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that, man, because I always looked at Poke as, like, Poke my brother.
That's the big
You know what I
homie.
mean?
That's the big
Poke
homie.
is my brother. You feel me? And
Shout
like,
out to him. He got a show coming.
Yeah, he
too.
got a
He
show
already
coming up
know.
too.
I talked
and when
to
I
him today
say,
about it.
yeah, and the reason I say hurt is because I had so many, like, I really looked up to Pope. Like, it's crazy to be in the same, like, circle. You know what I'm saying? And, like, be inspired by somebody. And the reason why I say be inspired, not that his talent was any different than any of the other guys on our squad, but to me, Pope had,
He carried himself like a pro too.
but Pope had everything to be an NBA player. Like, if you look at me, right, like, my height, like,
Yeah,
at 5'9",
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Like, at 5'9", like, my
yeah.
height ain't league.
Ain't
You know what I'm saying? Like, my game might have, like, spoke
league.
to be able to potentially reach the league, but my height wasn't necessarily league. You look at
Right.
Dre Matthews, like, his height at the position he was playing wasn't league.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and Dre was tough.
Yes, he was.
You know what I mean? Like, and Dre is one of the GOATs. From the way I'm,
He was
you
coming
know what
up
I mean?
in-
If I'm concerned, like, in the Delaware, Maryland area, like,
And see, that's why I say Pope Dre, because I look at you, I look at Pope, I look at Dre. Them are the three in my eyes, and I know there's more before y'all that y'all
Right.
look up to. But for me, those are the three that I look up to. Like, those are the start of my Mount Rushmore for the GOATs that I see. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. So, like, for me, man, Poke is definitely hurt, and I appreciate that, bro, for real.
no doubt.
Like, but for me, like, hurt, when I say hurt, it's because I had so many expectations for Pope, bro. Like, just seeing what he did at Temple and what he was there for, like, a year.
Yeah.
What he did, he gave Duke 22 at Duke.
At
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's different.
It's hard to do.
Like
It's
a
hard
lot of
to do.
people may look at that and be like, oh, that's easy.
Nah,
That's
it's
different.
not.
You know what I'm saying? So to see that, like, to me, from an aspect of all the way around, to me, Pope had the best opportunity to play in the league.
Yeah.
Because he was about 6'4", NBA type body in
Had
high
some
school.
springs, had a
in
handle,
high school,
had a
could handle,
jumper.
could shoot,
shoot,
could
could
get in the
pull
lane,
it
could
apart.
post up, could do whatever. You know what I mean? So, like, to me, man, like, yeah, definitely hurt.
Definitely. So, last question would be, what do you got to tell the youth out there that's next up, man? Any advice for them?
Man, it's simple, man. Like, first thing you do is create a dream. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get a dream and you put everything to it. Don't, like, it's gonna be a lot of trials, a lot of tribulations, a lot of, like, that's your testimony, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, anything worth having is not gonna come easy. It never
fact.
will. And especially when you talk about sports, just because, like, you got so many people trying to do the same thing you want to do. You know what I'm saying? You got so many people trying to get to the league. And you gotta remember, there's always that person that's in the gym when you don't want to be in there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people don't know about, and I'm gonna use me as an example. High school, I went from having to shoot. Shout out to Coach Turk.
Turk.
You know what I mean? Like he, my guy. Before practice, he would make sure he was there to rebound, pass for me. I shoot 100, 150 shots before practice. 150 shots after practice. College, it went from shooting 150 to shooting 250.
Right.
Pro, it went from shooting 250 to making 500.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's no cap.
But
you
it
know
all
what I mean?
started with that coach rebounding.
But it all start like, man, like you gotta understand it's a work ethic, man. You gotta like really,
Making 500.
like you really gotta like if you want to do this on a basketball level, it's about the work. It ain't about your talent. It's about networking too, but it's 9 times out of 10 it's about your work. It's about persevering, because it's gonna be a lot of struggle along the way.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? But it's possible. You know what I mean? Like I like to, when I'm talking to the youth, I like to always say, when I use my story, you can too. That's just as simple as, you know what I mean, as I can put it. You know what I mean? Because you can too, man. Like you think about it, I'm a 5'9" kid, 135 pounds from Chrisville, Maryland.
Yeah.
You feel me? A lot of people, if you ask about Chrisville, they're gonna talk about seafood.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Them
Yeah.
crabs.
They
That's
talk
all I
about
knew.
seafood.
That's all. Didn't y'all name the Crabbers or something like
Yeah,
that?
Chrisville Crabbers, yeah. That's facts. You know what I'm saying? So like, man, and honestly, the reward after everything is like just having that satisfaction is better than any type of money you can make. You know what I mean? Because right now, like I can honestly look back and stand on my 2, and my satisfaction comes out of the fact that I came out on the other side, and when I retired with having at least 10 contracts offered. You feel
I
me?
heard it, man. Perseverance. You gotta put in the work, man. Ain't nothing come without the work, man. But Dre, big dog, appreciate you, man.
Y'all ready, man?
I appreciate
y'all
you.
ready, bro.
Definitely.
I appreciate y'all having me on, man.
Definitely, man.
And I definitely wish y'all success with this. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely needed.
Definitely.
Um,
We gotta tell the story
yeah.
the right way, man.
Yeah, no
I like hearing
cap,
people tell
man.
this story,
You know what I mean?
man.
Because sometimes, like, honestly, I ain't know how this was gonna go. I knew
Right.
I was gonna be real, but I ain't
Right.
just because I respect y'all. You know what I mean? And I, from the outside looking in, I see y'all some real individuals. You
Right.
feel me?
Appreciate
That's
that.
why when you hit me up, I was without hesitation.
Right.
You
Because
know
you
what I
damn
mean?
sure
Yeah.
didn't give me no runaround.
Yeah, nah,
nothing.
without hesitation. You let me know when y'all want to do it. You know what I mean? Just because I see the real. And honestly, man, I respect what anybody doing if they trying to do something positive. You feel me? Especially on the level of trying to get people's stories out there.
Definitely.
That's why I felt like I had to give y'all the real, because, like I said, man, I dropped some stuff that I've never, besides
Right.
people that's close with me, you know, I never, just because I was super big on my image, you know what I
Right.
mean? Which is important, but at the same time, man, I think it's important for these kids to understand, even the kids that are like,
I know both sides.
It's out there.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right,
I
right,
know
definitely,
both
bro.
sides, and that's how I
Definitely. Yeah,
relate
man.
to them. Like, ain't nothing you ain't going through out there that I
Right.
ain't been through or I can't relate to.
Right.
That's real.
yeah, man, you know, so just the youth, they gotta understand, man, it's not gonna be
That's
a,
hot.
it ain't gonna be a red carpet.
It
You
ain't.
feel me? You
That
have-
shit gonna be
especially,
tough.
especially when you from here.
Yeah.
When you from here, we ain't from big city, New York, Baltimore, Philly, or nothing like that. Vegas, Cali, like, and we gotta put in twice as much work than anybody else.
Well, man, that's a wrap, man. We live and reporting from the lab, man. Usual suspects, we out. Shout out Feel Good Media, Homie Tweez.
Yeah, feel good.
Shout out Mactown, War Family, Fit Mode, the lab. Until next time, man. Peace.
Shout out to Feel Good Media. Up next, the usual suspects.